I'll only be gone 4 days, Emily said, folding her dresses on the bed. You won't even notice. I smiled. I'll notice. The house gets too quiet without you. She laughed. You're dramatic. Only about you, I said. She walked closer and touched my chest. You trust me, right? Of course I do, I said without hesitation. You're my wife. That word still felt heavy in my mouth. Wife. Something sacred. Something permanent. Emily zipped her suitcase. It's just a girl's trip. Spa, shopping, beaches. Nothing exciting. Sound expensive? I joked. She rolled her eyes. Rachel planned it. You know how she is. I nodded. Yeah. She never looks me in the eye. Emily paused. She's just shy. Or hiding something, I said lightly. Emily forced a laugh. Don't start overthinking. I raised my hands. I'm not. I trust you. She kissed my cheek. That's why I love you. I helped carry her suitcase to the door. My phone buzzed with a work email, but I ignored it. I worked long hours as a project coordinator, nothing fancy, but it paid the bills. Everything I did was for this life. For her. You packed the blue dress? I asked. Yes. And the white sandals? Yes, Mom. I smiled, but something pressed in my chest. A quiet weight I couldn't name. Emily checked her phone. Uber's here. So soon? I asked. She hugged me tightly. You'll survive. I always do, I said. Barely. She laughed again, but it sounded rushed. At the door, she turned back. Don't forget to water the plants. I won't, I said. And no instant noodles every night. I make real food, I protested. Grilled cheese doesn't count. It absolutely does. She stepped forward and kissed my forehead. I'll miss you. I'll miss you more, I said. She pulled away, smiling, and walked out. The door clicked shut. I stood there longer than I should have, staring at the empty space where she had been. The apartment felt different already, like the air had shifted. I told myself it was normal. Trust is love, I thought. Doubt is poison. I went to the kitchen and poured coffee I didn't want. My phone buzzed again. Another email. Another task. Life moving forward like always. That night, I video called Emily. Look, she said, turning the camera toward hotel room. Fancy, right? Very, I said. You deserve it. She smiled, but her eyes flicked away. The girls are waiting. Tell Rachel I said hi. I said. There was a pause. She's in the shower. Okay, I said. Emily leaned closer to the camera. You're really okay with this, right? I laughed. Why wouldn't I be? Some husbands get jealous. I'm not some husband, I said. I'm yours. Her smile returned, wider this time. I love you. I love you too. The call ended. I stare at my reflection in the dark screen. I look tired, older than my age, but proud. I believe marriage was about patience, about giving without keeping score. I believe loyalty was silent, not loud. The next day, Rachel sent a message in the family group chat. Hope you're having fun, I typed. She replied with a thumbs up emoji. Nothing else. Emily didn't message until late that night. Sorry, busy day, she texted. No problem, I replied. Sleep well. I lay in bed alone, listening to the hum of the city outside. I replayed her smile, her voice, her kiss. I remembered our wedding vows. How she cried when she said forever. People don't lie when they cry, I told myself. If there was a crack in my perfect picture, I refused to see it. Love meant faith. Faith meant silence. I closed my eyes and whispered into the empty room. Trust is love. I didn't know yet that love was already leaving. Rachel messaged me at 12:47 a.m. Are you awake? She wrote. I stared at the screen. Yeah, everything okay. There was a long pause. Then, I need to show you something. Please don't call Emily yet. My fingers felt numb. What is this about? Another pause. Just watch first. A video loaded. I pressed play. Emily's laugh filled the room. Bright. Carefree. Not the tired laugh she used with me lately. She was standing on a beach, her hair loose, wearing a white dress I had never seen before. A man stood beside her, his arm around her waist. I whispered no. The man leaned in and kissed her temple. She smiled like the world belonged to her. I dropped the phone on the couch, then grabbed it again. This isn't real, I muttered. This is old. Or edited. Another message appeared. There are more. No, I typed. Rachel, stop. Another video loaded anyway. This time, Emily was holding the man's hand, walking toward a resort pool. Couples lounged around them. No girls. No spa bags. Just pairs. Like them. My chest burned. I felt heat rise up my neck. Who is that? I typed. Rachel replied, his name is Daniel. I said name out loud. Daniel. The sound felt sharp. I played the first video again. I watched Emily's body language. How close she stood. How natural it looked. I typed, you're lying. I wish I was, Rachel replied. I found out today. Why are you there? I asked. I came with them, she wrote. Emily said it was a couple's thing after we arrived. I thought you knew. My stomach twisted. I didn't. I'm so sorry, she wrote. I couldn't sleep knowing you didn't know. I stood up too fast and felt dizzy. How long? I typed. I don't know, she replied. But they act comfortable. I laughed once. It came out broken. Comfortable. Rachel sent one last clip. Emily and Daniel were sitting at a candlelit table. Daniel lifted a glass. To us, he said. Emily clinked her glass against his. To us. I felt something snap inside my chest. I typed slowly. Why are you doing this? Because it's wrong, Rachel replied. And because you don't deserve this. I wanted to scream. I wanted to punch something. Instead, I sat back down. I stared at the wall. She told me it was a girl's trip. I know, Rachel wrote. She told me you were okay with everything. Everything, I repeated. My hand shook. Did she mention me at all? Rachel hesitated. Then, not really. That hurt more than the videos. I typed, send everything. Are you sure? Yes. More videos came. Emily laughing in the ocean. Emily leaning into Daniel. Emily kissing him, clearly, fully. I turned the phone face down and ran to the bathroom. I gagged over the sink, but nothing came out. This can't be my life, I whispered. I went back to the couch and picked up the phone again. How could she do this? Rachel replied, I don't know. I kept hoping she'd tell you. She looked me in the eyes. I typed. She kissed my forehead. I'm sorry, Rachel wrote again. I replayed the videos until my eyes burned. I searched for hesitation, guilt, anything. There was nothing. I typed. Does he know she's married? Yes, Rachel replied. I heard him joke about it. My heart sank. What did he say? She said you were safe, Rachel wrote. That you wouldn't leave. I stared at that sentence until the words blurred. I need to be alone, I typed. Understand, Rachel replied. But I'm here. I put the phone down. The house was silent. Too silent. I walked to the shelf and picked up our wedding photo. Emily's head was on my shoulder. I was smiling like I had already won life. I asked the photo, was any of this real? The answer didn't come. I sat on the floor, holding the frame, and felt something heavy settle in my chest. My marriage wasn't cracked. It might have never existed. I kept hearing her voice in my head. You trust me, right? It echoed. I pressed my palm against my mouth and breathed through the pain. I wanted to call her. I wanted to hear her deny it. I wanted to believe her more than I wanted the truth. I checked my phone again. No message from Emily. Of course, I whispered. You're busy. I laughed softly at myself. Busy lying. I stood and paced the living room. I told myself. Be calm. I imagined confronting her. I imagined her crying. I imagined forgiveness. Each version ended with me feeling smaller. I sat back down and stared at the photo again. You chose him, I said quietly. The room didn't argue. I placed the frame face down and leaned back against the couch. My heart felt bruised. My hands felt cold. This changes everything, I whispered. And for the first time, I let myself believe it. I closed my eyes and listened to my own breathing. Slow, shallow, unfamiliar. I knew sleep would not come. I knew tomorrow would hurt more. But in that moment, alone in the dark, one truth finally landed, heavy and clear. Nothing I believed was safe anymore. My trust was broken, my faith questioned, and the man I was began quietly falling apart. I called Emily at 7:12 a.m. She answered on the fourth ring. Hello. Who is Daniel? I asked. Silence. Then what? Don't lie, I said. I saw the videos. Her breath caught. What videos? Rachel sent them. I said. The beach. The resort. Him. Why would she do that? Emily asked sharply. So it's true, I said. You're not denying it. Lower your voice, she snapped. I'm outside. I laughed. That's your concern? Listen, she said. This isn't what it looks like. It looks like you're on a couple's vacation, I said. With another man. She exhaled loudly. You wouldn't understand. I'm trying to, I said. Help me. There was a pause. Daniel supports me, she said. Emotionally. I closed my eyes. I'm your husband. And you're always busy, she replied. Always tired. I work for us, I said. For this life? I didn't ask you to, she said coldly. That hit hard. Yes, you did, I said. Every day. You don't listen, she said. Daniel listens. So you sleep with him? I asked. She hesitated. That's not fair. Answer me, I said. Yes, she whispered. But it wasn't planned. I felt my knees weaken. How long? Does it matter? She asked. Yes, I said. It matters to me. A few months, she said. Maybe longer. I pressed my forehead against the wall. I trusted you. I needed something different, she said. I felt invisible. I laughed bitterly. I gave you everything. You gave me safety, she said. Not passion. I remembered late nights, skipped meals, canceled trips. I sacrificed my life for you. I didn't ask for sacrifice, she said. I raised my voice. I asked for loyalty. Don't yell, she said. You're acting crazy. Crazy, I said. You're cheating on me. She sighed. I didn't mean to hurt you. But you did, I said. Over and over. You're making this dramatic, she said. Something snapped. You lie to my face, I shouted. You kissed me goodbye. I didn't want to fight, she said. So you destroyed me instead? I asked. Stop, she said. People can hear you. I went quiet. Say something, she said. I swallowed. Do you love him? Another pause. I don't know. That answer hurt more than yes. I beg you for honesty, I said. This is what I get. I'm confused, she said. Can't you give me time? Time to choose. I asked. She didn't answer. I defended you, I said softly. To myself. To everyone. I never asked you to, she replied. That was it. The rehearsed tone. The distance. You're not sorry, I said. That's not true, she said quickly. You're sorry you got caught, I said. Not sorry you did it. That's unfair, she said. No, I said. That's clear. I ended the call. My hand shook. My chest felt hollow. I grabbed my keys and drove without thinking. I ended up outside Mark's apartment. He opened the door. You look awful. She cheated, I said. He stepped aside. Come in. I collapsed onto his couch. I wasn't enough. Mark sat across from me. That's not true. She chose him, I said. That says everything. It says something about her, he said. Not you. She said I wouldn't understand, I said. Like I'm stupid. Mark shook his head. That's an excuse. What do I do? I asked. Don't beg, he said. Clarity beats chaos. I already beg, I said. Then stop now, he said. Save what's left of you. I stared at the floor. She didn't sound guilty. That's your answer, Mark said. I nodded slowly. I won't call her again. Mark leaned forward. Good. I stood up. I won't beg anymore. And for the first time since the videos, I meant it. I didn't call Daniel. I didn't post screenshots. I didn't ask questions I already knew the answers to. I chose silence. Emily came home 2 days later. She dropped her bag near the door and looked at me like I was a stranger. You're not going to say anything? She asked. I shrugged. What do you want me to say? She crossed her arms. You've been ignoring me. I've been listening, I said. That's not fair, she snapped. You're punishing me. I'm protecting myself, I replied. She scoffed. You're acting cold. I learned from you, I said. Her jaw tightened. So what now? We coexist, I said. For now. She stared at me. You don't get to shut down. I already did, I said quietly. She walked past me into the bedroom and slammed the door. That night, she tried again. Are you really throwing everything away? You already did, I replied. She didn't answer. I slept on the couch. Not because she asked, but because I needed distance. The next morning, I opened a new bank account. I didn't tell her. I felt guilty for 5 seconds, then relieved. When Emily noticed, she confronted me. Why is money missing? It's mine, I said. I earned it. We're married, she said. Not in the ways that matter, I replied. She stared at me like she didn't recognize my voice. Rachel messaged me that afternoon. She's lying to everyone, she wrote. About what? I asked. She says you pushed her away, Rachel replied. That you're controlling. I laughed once. That's new. I know the truth, Rachel wrote. I'm sorry. Don't be, I replied. Just don't tell her we talk. I won't, she promised. Emily tried softer tones after that. We can fix this, she said one night. I looked at her. You didn't ask me before breaking it. She frowned. Why are you being so calm? Because madness didn't help, I said. She reached for my hand. I pulled away. Don't, I said. Her eyes flashed. You think you're better than me now? I think I'm done bleeding, I replied. The next day, I sat in a quiet office across from Laura. She looked at me over thin glasses. Tell me everything. So I did. She listened without interrupting. When I finished, she said, You need to stop reacting. I already have, I said. Good, she replied. Silence is strength when used correctly. Will this get ugly? I asked. Only if you let emotions lead, she said. Protect yourself first. I nodded. I don't want revenge. She leaned back. Then don't seek it. Seek freedom. I signed papers with steady hands. That night, Emily noticed my ring was missing. Where is it? She asked. I held it up. Here. Why aren't you wearing it? She demanded. It feels dishonest, I said. She laughed sharply. You're being dramatic. I'm being honest, I replied. She stepped closer. You're really doing this? I already did, I said. She stormed off again. Rachel sent another message. Daniel has someone else, she wrote. I stared at the screen. I don't care, I replied, surprised that it was true. You're stronger than I thought, she wrote. No, I typed. Just tired. Emily started watching me then. My movements. My silence. You're planning something? She said. I'm planning peace, I replied. She shook her head. You think this makes you powerful? No, I said. It makes me free. That night, I sat alone and held the ring one last time. I placed it in a drawer and closed it gently. I didn't feel rage. I felt clarity, and that was enough. Emily started noticing my silence. Why don't you look at me anymore? She asked one morning. I'm looking, I said. Just differently. She frowned. That's not an answer. It's the only one I have, I replied. Her phone buzzed constantly now. She checked it, sighed, and checked again. Everything okay? I asked calmly. She hesitated. Daniel's busy. I nodded. That happens. She watched my face, searching for reaction. I gave her none. That night, she tried touching my arm. I miss you, she said softly. I know, I replied, moving away. She smiled too quickly. We can start fresh. You already started something else, I said. Her smile vanished. Why are you so distant? Because distance keeps me sane, I replied. She scoffed. You think you're punishing me? I'm healing, I said. She went quiet. Mark met me at the gym the next day. You look different, he said. Stronger? I asked. Calmer, he replied. I stopped chasing chaos, I said. He nodded. Good. We lifted weights in silence for a while. You hear anything new? He asked. I hear less, I said. That's better. He smiled. That's power. Rachel messaged me later. Daniel canceled on her again. I typed okay. His business is struggling, she added. He's stressed. I'm not involved, I replied. I know, she said. Just telling you. Emily grew restless. She cleaned aggressively. She cooked meals I didn't ask for. Sit with me, she said one night. I'm fine here, I replied. She slammed the plate down. You're enjoying this. No, I said. I'm surviving it. She laughed bitterly. You think you're winning? I'm not competing, I said. She stared at me like I had spoken another language. Later, she cried. Loudly. On purpose. Can you hear me? She asked. Yes, I said from the couch. Don't you care? She demanded. I care enough not to lie, I replied. She wiped her face. Daniel says he needs space. That sounds familiar, I said. Her eyes narrowed. You're happy about this. I'm calm, I corrected. She stormed into the bedroom. Rachel called me that night. He has another woman, she said quietly. I closed my eyes. I figured. You're not angry? She asked. No, I said. I'm free. She exhaled. I wish my sister understood what she lost. So do I replied. Emily tried again the next day. Remember our first trip? She asked. Yes, I said. You were so attentive, she said. I was loyal, I replied. She reached for my face. I stepped back. Don't, I said gently. Her voice cracked. Why won't you fight for us? Because love shouldn't require begging, I said. She looked stunned. That evening, I ran on the treadmill until my legs burned. Control felt better than anger. Mark handed me water. You're doing great. I'm just doing better, I said. Emily watched me pack a gym bag later. You've changed. I had to, I said. She whispered. He won't even answer my calls. I zipped the bag. That's between you and him. She grabbed my arm. Say something. I met her eyes. Already did. With silence. She let go. The house felt lighter. Not happier. Clearer. That night, she sat across from me at the table. Why don't you fight for us anymore? I held her gaze and said nothing. And that was my answer. I woke up before the alarm and didn't feel dread. That surprised me. Emily noticed it too. You're smiling, she said cautiously. I slept well, I replied. She watched me button my shirt. You don't ask where I'm going anymore. I don't need to, I said. Her phone rang. She glanced at it, then tossed it onto the couch. He didn't answer. I tied my shoes. That happens. She followed me to the door. Daniel is gone. I paused. I know. You knew? She asked sharply. Rachel told me. I said, and I could see it. Emily's voice cracked. He blocked me. I nodded once. I'm sorry. She blinked. That's it. That's all, I said. She grabbed my arm. I made a mistake. I gently pulled away. You made choices. I was confused, she said quickly. I felt neglected. I felt betrayed, I replied. She stepped closer. I never stopped loving you. I met her eyes. I stopped believing you. She started crying then. Loud, messy, desperate. I'll do anything, she said. Therapy. Honesty. I'll quit my job. I listened. I didn't interrupt. You're not saying anything, she whispered. I'm listening, I said. Say you feel something, she begged. I searched inside myself. I don't. Her face collapsed. Later that day, I sat across from Laura again. She's spiraling, I said. That's common, Laura replied. Stay consistent. She wants forgiveness, I said. And do you? Laura asked. I want peace, I said. She slid papers toward me. Then we proceed. I signed without shaking. Rachel called me that night. I'm sorry, she said quietly. For what? I asked. For my family, she replied. For staying silent too long. I forgive you, I said. You don't hate her? Rachel asked. I don't carry what hurts me, I replied. Emily overheard that conversation. You forgive her, but not me, she asked later. Yes, I said. Why, she demanded. Because she told the truth, I replied. You rewrote it. She shook her head. You're acting like a stranger. I'm acting like myself, I said. She tried touching my face. Remember who we were. I remember who I became, I replied. Her voice dropped. He left because of you. No, I said. He left because he could. She stared at me. You don't care. I care enough to stop, I said. Days passed quietly. I ran every morning. I ate better. I slept deeper. Emily watched from a distance, like she was studying a stranger. You're disciplined now, she said once. I needed structure, I replied. You're not angry, she said. I already was, I said. I moved past it. She laughed weakly. You make it sound easy. It wasn't, I said. She sat across from me at the table. I regret everything. I believe you, I said. Her eyes brightened. Then maybe, I believe you regret losing me. I added. That light faded. You don't even raise your voice anymore, she whispered. I don't need to, I said. She looked around the room. This house feels empty. It's quieter, I said. Not emptier. She stood up suddenly. I don't recognize you. That's growth, I replied. She stared at me, searching for something familiar. You moved on already. I moved inward, I said. She swallowed hard. So that's it. Yes, I said calmly. She nodded slowly, like something finally made sense. That night, she didn't cry. She just looked at me once and said, You're gone. I didn't correct her, because emotionally I already was. Emily broke down on a quiet Sunday afternoon. She stood in the living room, hands shaking, voice barely holding. I chose excitement, she said. I chose feeling alive. I didn't move. And you chose to lie. I thought you would always be there, she whispered. You were steady, safe. I nodded once. I was loyal. She wiped her face. I didn't think I'd lose you. You didn't think at all, I said calmly. She sank onto the couch. I ruined everything. You changed everything, I replied. She looked up at me. Isn't that the same? No, I said. Ruin is careless. This was intentional. She flinched. I never meant to hurt you. But you accepted it, I said. Her voice cracked. I didn't think it would go this far. It went exactly where lies go, I replied. She grabbed my sleeve. Please, I'll do anything. I gently pulled my arm free. Anything would have been honesty. She sobbed. I loved you. I loved you too, I said. That's why this hurts less now. She stared at me. How can you say that? Because love without respect is worthless, I said. She shook her head. You sound so calm. I am, I replied. She leaned forward. He's gone. Completely. I know, I said. He lost his job. She rushed. People found out. He's blaming me. I listened. I felt nothing. Say something, she begged. I hope you learn from it, I said. That's all, she asked. That's enough, I replied. She covered her face. I destroyed my life. You made choices, I said. Consequences followed. She looked at me through tears. Do you feel proud? No, I said. I feel finished. She stood up suddenly. We can rebuild. We can't, I replied. Why not? She cried. I'm right here. Because trust doesn't reset, I said. She stepped closer. I'll spend my life proving it. You already spent it disproving it, I replied. Her shoulders sagged. You're really done. Yes, I said. She laughed weakly. I used to think you were weak. I met her eyes. And now? She swallowed. I was wrong. That's closure, I said. She reached for my hand one last time. Please stay. I looked at our walls. Our furniture. Our memories. I stayed long enough. She whispered, I don't recognize you anymore. I finally do, I replied. She sat back down, defeated. Daniel said you'd never leave. I'm not here to prove men wrong, I said. She nodded slowly. I lost everything. You lost me, I said gently. Everything else can be rebuilt. She looked up. You forgive me? I considered it. I release you. That's not the same, she said. No, I replied. It's better for me. Silence filled the room. She spoke again. I thought excitement was love. Love is responsibility, I said. You dropped it. She wiped her eyes. I wish I could go back. So do I said. But not to stay. I picked up my bag. You're leaving now? She asked. Yes, I said. She stood quickly. Wait. I paused at the door. I'm sorry, she said again. I know, I replied. That's it, she asked softly. That's all, I said. I opened the door. Take care, she whispered. I will, I said. I stepped outside and closed it behind me. The lock clicked. I didn't look back. The air felt lighter. My chest felt steady. I walked down the steps and kept walking. Not angry, not proud, free. I signed the last papers with Laura. That's it, she said, sliding the documents across the desk. You're officially free. I picked up the papers and held them for a moment. Feels strange, I admitted. Strange is good, she said. It means you're moving forward. I nodded. No bitterness? Laura smiled. Only clarity. I left the office and called Mark. I did it, I said. You did, he replied. How does it feel? Lighter, I said. Like the weight's gone. Good, he said. You earned this. I lost a lot, I admitted. But I gained more. Mark laughed softly. That's the way it works. Later, Rachel texted me. Congratulations, she wrote. I don't know how you stayed so calm. I had to, I replied. For me. You were honest the whole time, she said. Thank you for trusting me. I trust you. I typed back. You helped me without interfering. Rachel sent a smiling emoji. You're stronger than I imagined. I just stopped fighting battles that weren't mine, I replied. At home, the apartment felt quiet in a way that didn't hurt. I placed my wedding ring in a drawer, finally able to look at it without pain. I poured a glass of water and sat by the window. The city outside buzzed, unaware of my personal battles. I realized I hadn't thought about Emily all day. Not with anger, not with longing, not with hope. Only a simple acknowledgement. She was gone from my life. I dialed Mark again. You want to grab coffee? Sure, he said. Let's celebrate your quiet victory. I walked to the cafe, enjoying the cool air. Each step felt steady. each breath intentional. Mark arrived and smiled. Look at you. Calm, collected. Even your posture says it. I'm finally myself again, I said. Not the version who begged. Not the version who was blind. Mark raised his cup. To you. I clinked my cup with his. To moving forward. He laughed. You don't even seem angry at her. I'm not, I admitted. I don't hate Emily. I just don't need her anymore. That's powerful, Mark said. Back home, I organized my apartment. Files, clothes, memories. Everything had a place. Not out of obsession, but out of respect for my own life. I realized the chaos she left wasn't permanent. I could rebuild on my own terms. Rachel called. How's it feel? Peaceful, I said. Strange, but peaceful. You've really grown, she said softly. I wish my family understood your honesty. I forgive them for what they are, I said. I don't forgive Emily, at least, not in the same way. I release her, though. That's fair, Rachel said. You've earned this. I walked around the apartment, looking at small details I had ignored before. Books, photographs, even a plant Emily used to forget to water. Everything reminded me that life continues, with or without her. I sat down and reflected. Betrayal had destroyed me, yes, but it had also rebuilt me. I acknowledged my flaws, my dependence, my blind trust, my willingness to give without question. But I also saw the strength I hadn't recognized before. The emotional resilience, the clarity, the self-respect. The phone buzzed. It was Emily. I stared at it, then let it ring. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. Mark texted, "Ready for a weekend trip?" "Absolutely," I replied. I packed a small bag for myself. No second thoughts. No hesitation. Just the certainty of my path forward. Later, I stood on my balcony and looked at the skyline. Sunlight glinted off the buildings, warm and promising. I took a deep breath. This was my life now. Mine alone. No bitterness. No obsession. No need for revenge. Only clarity. Only freedom. I whispered quietly, more to myself than anyone else. I'm done carrying what wasn't mine to bear. The wind brushed my face. I imagined Emily's life continuing in her own chaos. Daniel's collapse. All the threads of their story unraveling without my interference. I felt nothing but calm. I turned back inside, closing the balcony door. The apartment felt full of possibilities. I could laugh again. I could work on myself. I could live without fear of betrayal. Mark called again. Are you ready to start over? Yes, I said. I'm ready to walk forward alone. And for the first time in months, I felt it. Freedom. Not revenge. Not obsession. Just freedom. I looked out the window once more. The future wasn't a threat. It was mine. I smiled, closed my eyes, and exhaled. Finally, truly free.